Good evening. Who is this first person here with me? Who is this person here with me? Please let me know.
Match day is upon us, fans are pouring into the stadium, anticipation to reach an all-time high. All the action here on EATV.
We're at the magnificent venue that is Old Trafford, Manchester. My name's Guy Mowbray. I'm joined by Sue Smith in the commentary position. The live game from the Premier League on the way. It's Manchester United and they face Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, here it is.
Here's how Nottingham Forest line up.
Thank All right. Who is on this call with me now? If you're on this call with me, please let me know in the comment section. Hi, Benedicta. Good evening. How are you doing? Okay, we're going to get started right now. We're going to get started right now. So, all right, as I said earlier, as I've dropped onto group, today's topic is social media management, managing online presence like a pro. Hi, Andrew. Good evening. How was your day? So, yes, the first thing, as I always said, the first thing here is what is social media management? Social media management, it involves creating, publishing, analyzing, and engaging with content across platforms. There are 4 things I want us to take note of in social media management. Anything social media management should involve what? Creating content, publishing content, analyzing those contents you published, and what? Engaging audience or engaging with content across platforms. These are the 4 basic things you have to know about social media management. If you want to be a social media manager, you should take note of this. What are they again? Please write them down. Creating, publishing, analyzing, and engaging. You can also write it down on the comment section. I said what? It involves creating, publishing, analyzing, and engaging with content across platforms. Now, it goes beyond posting. It's strategy, communication, consistency, and community building. If you think social media management or what have you, or will I say posting on social media is just about posting, then you really got it wrong. It's about creating. Creating is different from posting. There's something we call creating the content. There's something we call publishing content, analyzing content, and not engaging with content across platforms. It's not just about posting content, which we might know as posting. Sorry, is what publishing. So now, another thing I want to talk about is what your voice and personality of the brand online. You are the voice and the personality of the brand online. You have to set the voice, set the tone of the brand online by yourself. If you don't set it, then people are not going to have a particular voice to know you for. They don't have anything to say. Oh, once they see this, they'll be like, "This is the brand." So that is where that logo comes in. That is where that branding comes in. It's under the social media management. So you know how to brand yourself. Yourself, that is the personal brand. You know how to brand yourself. That is through social media management because you know the type of content you put. Like say like myself, what I use to brand my personal brand is what before I write any content, I put down something, dear success seeker. So anybody sometimes it got to a stage that people started calling me what dear success seeker because that is what I use as my intro in every of my content to be posted, dear success seeker. So you have to set your voice, your personality. And if it's a brand, you should know, okay, look at the particular color, look at the particular format you're going to be putting out there. You understand? Or maybe you have to have a face of your brand. you should have the particular thing that people can identify your brand with. If you notice all these yes, all these comedians, you will notice that either they have a particular clothes or they have a particular thing they tie. Sabinus is that black t-shirt. I don't know, Mr. Funny is Sabinus. What is that? Is the Funny Bros is this is Ghana Moscow. So you should have something to brand yourself with. So people will know your personality. So that is oh, ìbéèrè ṣùkú díẹ̀ success seeker, yes. So now goes beyond, as I said, let me mention these points again. It involves what creating, publishing, analyzing, and engaging with content across platforms. Those are the four things you should take note while managing social media platforms. Another one I said what it goes beyond posting is what strategy, communication, consistency, and community building. I do not like diversifying this, but then you know what is called content strategy. That you should know that okay on Mondays that there's something people usually would like say most workers, depending on your target audience. If your target audience are working class, you should know on Monday how to motivate them to go to work. Those are the type of content they want to see once they open their social media. So they'll be like, yes, we're on track. So you can do something like Monday motivation. That is one. There's something we call communication. Know how to communicate with your audience where comment sections or maybe on their DMs, depending on where you choose to communicate with them on. You can tell them to send you a DM, maybe after offering a particular free thing. You can tell them to send you a DM, or you can have customer service line where they can always call you. All those things are necessary if you're building a business or your personal brand on social media. I said what consistency. Imagine that you already know that every Monday you should post a Monday motivation. So that is already giving you a trademark. Like every Monday, some people might want to come and say, "Oh, what does this person have to say today?" You understand? And I don't know how many of us know John Obidi on social media. He's someone that does a night school every Friday. And I think now he moved it to Saturday. So people already know sometimes they'll go to his page every Friday or Saturday to figure out, oh, it's night school holding tonight. Or they'll go to his page on WhatsApp, sorry, on Instagram or his WhatsApp channel to know if there'll be night class. That is personal branding. He branded himself with something and then it became his personal brand. Social media managers are not just posters, they are brand storytellers. Yesterday we talked about storytelling. Now we are bringing it in here today again because it's the foundation of brand building. If you can tell your brand story effectively, then what do you have to lose? Because your audience already carried away with the brand, especially when you told it in an intriguing way that you actually got people to buy the story. Like got people to engage with your story and own the story like it's their own because that's what many brands does. If you know all the favorite brand, let me use Indomie instant noodles now. Indomie instant noodles when they started earlier, you will know that when I say what they started with is maybe telling a story and who were their audience, like who were their target audience. That does not mean that like adult does not eat noodles, but then there's some people that they particularly targeted and they are what kids, their children at within the age of what let's say 5 to like 12. Why did they do that? Because they know okay these people are less likely to have diabetes, have issues of diabetes, like they are less likely to parents are less likely to care for okay are their children taking too much sugar. You understand? So all these things is like telling a story. They know their target audience, so they told the story to that particular audience. You understand? So you should know, as a social media manager, you should know the audience you're speaking to and be able to speak their language to tell the story those people can resonate with on your social media platforms. So that is for what is social media management. Now, on my next slide is what responsibilities of a social media manager. Responsibilities of a social media manager. What are they? I'm going to list them out. If you can catch them, fine. The first thing is what content creation. That's the very first thing. Content creation, which entails what ideas, captions, and visuals. Like you have to be the content creator because you're the one that is looking at social media. You're the one that have done your research and know, okay, this brand, look at what these brands have been posting. Look at what we can post to actually go out on the market too, just like this brand has. So you have to take note of that. Content creation, that is the first thing. Another thing is what scheduling and consistency. as a social media manager, if you want to be a social media manager after this class, or if you want to manage your own social media, you should know how to schedule posts to save yourself time and stress, so you have time for other things. It's not every day you'll be looking for when this particular time, when it gets to this particular time before you can make a post. You can schedule the posts, and then to help you with consistency, when you can just pick out a day or two and schedule different posts, you already know that okay, you're consistent for this particular date because the posts are already there, ready to be posted once the time is right. Another thing is what community engagement, replying to DMs and comments. That is what community engagement, engaging with your community, like letting them know that once they call on you, you're already there to answer. You are there to answer their questions. You are there to pick their orders. You are there to reply their DMs. You are there to give them the answer to whatever it is they seek from you. You understand? Another one is what trend washing. You know when that Chakam trend came out, you might be thinking there's some brand that might not key into it, but they found a way. They found a way to key into that Chakam challenge. How? That is the role of of the social media manager and then the content creator, because you have to be the idea. You have to bring ideas and be like, okay, this can work for this brand. This can work for my brand. So let's do it this way, because you already know the audience. You know the problem they're facing. You know the solution you're bringing to the table. So you know how to make the content right for that audience, depending on the trend that is ongoing. You understand? So that is for trend washing, keeping brand relevant. It keeps your brand relevant. It keeps your brand relevant because when you're keying into trend, people be like, oh, look at what this brand said about this trend. It already keep because that whatever it is that is trending at that particular moment, that is where people's attention are. That's where the media attention is. So you have to find a way to still bring yourself into relevance even during that trend period. That is for trend washing. Another one is what strategy and analysis. Strategy and analysis. When you know how to strategize content, like this trend washing is a content strategy. You know how to strategize content. First of all, and if you are starting out, what I will advise you to do is you can put out content as regular as possible. Then later on, you go to your analytics and figure out when in particular my audience always online, when in particular my followers always online, so I can know when to always post. You understand? What kind of content can they resonate with? Like what kind of content will they think, like will they feel, will they relate more with? You understand? And then you have to know what is working and what is not working. By the time you put out content regularly, you figure out what is working and what is not working. And a particular way to do that now is like you pick out 5 brands. There's someone that paid for my session last week, and there's an assignment I gave her to do. I should not be sharing this with you guys, but I'm just going to tell you a story because I will not be the one to analyze your content, but I was the one to analyze her content. What I do that to do is pick out 10 top brands in Nigeria because you want to see what's like her audience were what Nigerians. She picked out 10 audience, Nigerian audience, and then picked out 10 worldwide audience that are worldwide brands and 10 Nigeria brands that does the same thing that she's doing. That's what I told her to do. She did vast research on that, got their social media handles. And now what did we do? We first of all started for the main thing, which is what the bio writing. We went through these people's bio. You understand? We went through their bio. We figured out, okay, look at how these people wrote their bio. How are these people others engaging? So when we were able to analyze their bio, we came up with okay, these 3 brands, their bio are top notch. So from there, we know how to put our own with their creativity and our own creativity because we already have an idea of what copywriting is about first and what content writing is about. So adding their creativity and our own creativity, we're able to come up with something better, something, something that's very good. So that is step one. Now, after we did that for bio writing, we did the same for content strategy. She was able to bring out, okay, this particular brand posts videos, posts graphics, posts carousels, post testimonials. So we are able to figure out, okay, what is common among these brands? And we figured that it may be whatever it is she got. And then we figured, okay, this is particularly something that works because all these brands use them. You understand? So we kept that aside. So we now figured out, okay, what else can work for us? What can we bring in from our own creativity? Could it be carousels? Should we start posting carousels on Instagram? Because people now like information. But then it should be like one line or two lines of carousel so people don't get bored and then miss out and then zoom out. You understand? So that's what we did, and we were able to boil down to the particular content we want to be posting. But now let's go to the next point. I think I'm done with my story now. If you want to get more of my story, you should pay for my class, for my private session. Now, I've talked about responsibilities of a social media manager. Let's go to the next thing. Why do businesses need this, or why do brand need this, or rather, let's say, why do you need this? Let's explain using real life solutions now. The first thing on my list is busy CEO cannot post consistently. A CEO of a business, a big business, cannot post consistently because he's busy making decisions in other part of the business that is not what social media, posting on social media, engaging. Remember, I told you four rules: creating, publishing, analyzing, and engaging. He cannot be doing that while also deciding other things for his brand. So that is why he needs social media managers. So as I said, busy CEOs cannot post consistently. Brand pages that don't engage lose customers. And there are some brand pages that might be busy with taking orders. They might not be able to engage with their audience on the platform, like reply comments and reply DMs. So they will need a social media manager. That is where you come in. You fill in that gap of what being their we engage their audience, probably make posts because when they want to give you that task, it's better you make the post. You know the type of post that is being made, so you can manage the audience too that comes with that post. Another one is what online presence is equal to trust, is equal to lead. When people trust you, on the first I talked about the know, like, and trust factor. When they know you, that is by your online presence. When they know you first, they can trust you. Maybe because they've read your story over time, they even know where you stay. They can vouch for you that okay, this person have done this person have done this. Maybe they bought from you one time, or maybe you've done something for them, or maybe somebody have tagged you, somebody they have high respect for tagged you in his or her post, so they can vouch for you. Now they can trust you, and when they can trust you, it's easy to make sales. Once they can trust you, it's easy to make sales, and that is how you get leads. Now, that being said, benefits to business. Social media management benefit is what? Brand visibility, community trust, sales via consistent messaging. You can get sales through what? Consistent messaging, organized communication strategy. That's the benefit to your business. You have what? Brand visibility. You have what? Community trust, because you're always engaging with your audience on social media. You're building trust, community trust. You're building your sales funnel, your sales, your leads. You're building those things on social media, your audience. Even if somebody's not your audience right now and that person follows you, loyal, like the person is a very loyal follower of you, the person can get you referrals, or in the nearest future the person will still patronize you. Why? Because the person already likes you, knows you, and trusts you. So that being said, I also talked about organized communication strategy. On social media, it is not like you can go to a particular person. You already know the person that made this comment. You can go to the person's DM, or you can reply the person on the comment section. So that is why it's organized community strategy. Behind every successful brand online is a social media manager getting paid. I want you to take note of this. Behind every active brand, especially big business brand you see online, is a social media manager getting paid. Because unless this person is paying his or herself to make sales, but then there is a social 90% of the time, all those brands have a social media manager, because the social media manager will bring them the leads. Now they focus on the leads, while the social media manager gets more leads for them. You understand the funnel now? So they will open the page, hire the social media manager, just do this job and get me leads. Do this content, send me this content, post this content, and what gets me leads. I'll manage the sales from there. And that is how they drive sales. Now, when a social media management needed, let's use this to illustrate product launch weeks. When some people want to launch products, it's going to take a lot of attention. They need a lot of attention. To that point, they need a social media manager because they want to be making this post, and they will need somebody to strategize those posts, those contents. You understand? So product launch weeks, when people want to launch products, maybe in 3 months they want to launch this product, so they will have to come up with a plan and be like, okay, they need a social media manager that will help them strategize this thing, that will help them get know what is trending currently, key into the trend, and the rest of them. That is why you are an analyzer. That is why you're a creator on social media. Another one is rebranding period. When a brand wants to rebrand, they will need a social media manager to come and wipe off the face of their old brand and give them a new brand look. You understand? As I said that time, we are the what? We do the branding too. You can come up with a template that people will always remember this brand for. That is the role of the social media manager. Rebranding periods. I also said it was special promotions. Maybe there's a particular time they want to have special promotions and they need a social media manager or maybe someone that will run ads for them. So they will hire you to do that. Special promotions. They want to promote a particular offer on social media. They're going to need a social media manager slash ad manager because sometimes they go hand in hand most times. Another one is holiday campaigns. If some brand wants to like schools want to do holiday campaigns or maybe they want to do holiday classes lessons, because I know there's this brand that always message me during Easter period or December to run ads for her because of she hosts class those period and she knows many people are already at home seeking for their students, their children to go somewhere to learn a skill, develop a new skill, and what have you. Now for startups and solopreneur who can do it all, for startups, people that want to start up business, and now they are looking for funds here and there, and it's a one-man team. So they need a social media manager to look at their social media properly while they focus on the funding and the back end work. Understand? So these are where social media managers are needed. And these people I just mentioned now, they are everywhere. How many people do you know? If I tell you to mention people you know that are business owners, you will mention quite a number of them. And those people need social media management. You just have not pitched to them rightly, or maybe you've not managed your social media rightly for you to pitch to them that okay, you can do this, and they should look at your own social media platform. I gave you guys assignments, just like 3 persons submitted, but then you still have a chance to submit. By the time you reach day 7, you see the reason why I gave you this assignment. So if you have not submitted, please work on that and submit it as soon as possible. Whether it's a big campaign or daily presence, the manager keeps it all running. You are the manager, so you should make sure you keep what the campaign running because we are going to do social media ads. You will see why you have to keep the campaign running, and then you have to keep their daily presence on. Like you have to ensure that they are always online and people always seeing them. Like put them to put spaces all the time. Put them to people's faces all the time. Now, platforms you can manage. Facebook. On Facebook, you can manage different places on Facebook. You know, Facebook have groups, Facebook have pages, Facebook can even have live. You can have live, like you can have while you are live, you can have someone to manage your live session. You understand? So groups, pages, and likes. On Instagram, it can be what stories, reels, captions, hashtag engagement. Like those are the things that people want people to manage on Instagram. Manage my stories, know when people comment, always post my post to my stories, manage my reels and the rest. You have to know the type of content strategy to be using for this particular parts of each of these platforms. Now, LinkedIn, what thoughts leadership posts, job update, professional tone. These are the things to keep note of on LinkedIn. For TikTok, we all know TikTok, party, party. You already know all those songs. If you know how to keep up to date, okay, which song is particularly trending now? Keep up to trends, challenges, fun and creative strategy. That is for TikTok. And now for Pinterest, as we all know, is what pin boards, traffic, and visual storytelling. That's for Pinterest. And yes, I remember that yesterday I promised to do screen records of different social media platforms and how to optimize them. And yes, that is still on my schedule. I want to be sure that people are following. Right when most of you have submitted the assignment, I'll be sure to do that. So for most of us. Now, each platform has its own voice. The manager must speak with a clear voice. must master all. You must master how each of these platform works before you are qualified to be a standard social media manager. You have to know how all this platform works. So you can set the tone each time you want to write the caption or want to publish your content. Now let's go to what tools does managers use. Now there are several social media tools you can be using to manage your content on social media. For content planning, you can use Notion or Google Calendar. Notion, I prefer Notion in a way because it's very vast, but then you have to understand it. No loss inside that Notion. Notion is very easy to plan your content. You can go there, keep notes, archive the ones you're not using, and the rest. Keep notes, archive the ones you're not using, and the rest. So it's very nice. Notion is very nice. For scheduling, I will mention Buffer because I usually use Buffer, buffer.com. Meta Business Tools. You can use Meta Business Tools for Facebook and Instagram. Now for Buffer, you can use it for all platforms. Like it is surprising. Buffer, you can use it for all platforms. But the free version is that you can connect a limit of 3 platforms. There's a hack I used to use to connect more than one, but that is not for this session. That is for my PhD students. Now, for Buffer, you can connect just 3 in the first for the free version, just 3, and then you can use it to publish posts on these 3 platforms at once. Very simple, very easy. I've given you guys updates now. So Buffer is a very good scheduling platform. Now, for analytics, you can use analytics is easy. Most of these platforms now have analytics and insights. Instagram has insights, Facebook have insights, LinkedIn has insights. All these platforms now have insights. So you can go to those insights now and figure out, okay, is it photos that are working well for my brand, or are they videos, or is it reels? So you have to figure those out as a social media manager. And now for design, for perfect design, you can use Canva. Canva is good for a learner. You can just go there and edit some things on the design and it becomes yours on Canva. Or you can use CapCut for your video editing. Yeah, it's that easy. For engagement, you can use Creator Studios and mobile apps. Yeah, you can use Creator Studio and mobile apps for engagement. So that is it for what tools managers use. I want to make today's class not very long because I'll have to record some things for you guys and send it over. Now, career paths and service offers. Talking about opportunities you can find as social media manager is what a freelance social media manager. You can work with several brands, manage their social media platforms anywhere around the world. But then you have to first of all set your own social media platform right so that when they come to visit your platform, they will not be disappointed. Remember that. Now, work for agencies and startup. You can work for agencies, like you can join agencies, maybe agency that does a particular thing. Like my agency now that works for like the digital marketing agency. And some of these brands that need digital marketing obviously need what social media managers. So when they come and we offer them ads, they might ask you, or we might offer to yes, we might ask to offer the social media management for them too. So that is the bonus. Yeah, you can work with startups. Startup might look for a social media manager that wants to manage the 3 social media platforms at once. And I've just given you a tool that can manage 3. I've already given you something for free, something very valuable. So you can manage this platform now from one place for these startups. Now offer it as a service under your brand. I've mentioned this now, just like myself. I can offer it as a service under my brand, Rainy Arts Agency, and become a virtual assistant with social media marketing as a skill. You can become a virtual assistant. Virtual assistant is what? Media assistant. You can assist people on social media with their schedule and what have you. And then when you have social media management as a skill, is a bonus for you and it's an added advantage and what's more money. Now, I will tell you to what start small, grow fast. You don't need to be an influencer to manage one. You don't need to be an influencer to manage one. Just get your own right. Get the standard right. so that when you are pitching to your client, they already see something you've got, something you've managed. Or you can reach out to some brands and tell them, okay, I can manage your social media platform for free. You can start with free box. Why? Because it will help you build your portfolio. Maybe there's a particular brand you've been seeing and be like, okay, I want to work with this brand. You can offer to manage a social media platform, maybe for free for 2 to 3 months or just 1 month. You add it to your portfolio. You've seen how it works there, and then later on you can go and pitch to them. Okay, you'll be managing it now, but then you manage it for free for 1 month. When they've seen your work, then you guys can negotiate the salary. That is a very great way to go in. Now, that is all for social media management. I made it. I was planning to end this class by in 1 hour, and we are left with 19 minutes, right? Yeah. So I would like to have your questions. Do you have any questions before I give my assignment? If you have questions, please let me know in the comment section. If you have a question, let me know in the comment section. Okay. That being said, now our homework for today is what? I want you to audit a brand you follow. What kind of posts do they make? How consistent they are. Should I make it 2 brands? I don't understand what's going on. All right, Benjamin. The truth is, this is going to still be on this platform. You can still go back later. Okay, I said buffer. Let me type it in. Okay, Mr. Benjamin, to summarize this again, let me read through. I think you can still go back and watch this video though. You can still go back and watch this video. Well, let me still know what I can do for you. I said social media management is about creating, publishing, analyzing, and engaging with content across platforms. I mentioned responsibilities of social media managers, which are what content creation, scheduling and consistent posting, community engagement, trend watching, and then strategy and analytics. Now, why businesses need social media management: brand visibility, community trust, sales via consistent marketing, organized community and strategy. Now, the tools, I mentioned tools, right? Yes, platforms you can manage: Facebook, Instagram, different social media platforms can be managed. For tools you can use for your planning, for content planning, I talked about Notion, Trello, Google Calendar. You can research on more. For scheduling, I mentioned Buffer. It's on the comment section now. Buffer.com. Buffer. One is okay, just one brand. No, one brand is too small. For scheduling, I mentioned Buffer, Hootsuite, Meta Business Suite. Then for analytics, I mentioned what Instagram Insights, Meta Insights. Most of these platforms now have insights. You can check out their insights for that. Then for design, I talked about Canva and CapCut, design and video editing. Now for career path, I talked about what working as a freelancer, working for agencies, offer it as a bonus under the service you already offer. become a social media assistant, sorry, a virtual assistant with social media marketing skills. Those are what I mentioned. So with that, I believe yes, we're done. There's many the assignments I talked about I'll be giving you guys. I want us to audit. Should we choose a particular brand? No. Since we are talking about personal branding today, oh yes, I know what to do. I want you to pick out a brand. Like one is your personal brand. I want you to go on social media. Let's use. Should I give you guys names of people to check out? Is that not Expo? So I want you to go on social media. I know Munachi is here. Munachi, I must have given Munachi Expo when we were doing our own. But let's leave that aside. So now I want us to go on social media. Let's check out few people, top people that we follow. If you know some people that you admire on social media, on a particular social media platform or on different social media platforms, you can check them out. I want you to check out the type of content they create. Let's say two people you admire. Check out the type of content they create. Content types. When you check out their content types, you also check out what then if you run a business and there's another and there are two business brands you also admire and check out their content styles, then you send them to me what you got from the type of content they create. Check out their content types and send to me two brands for personal branding, two people you admire, and for business brand, two brands you admire under the business you're already doing. Check out the type of content they post and send them to me. Then I'll guide you more on that. One, if that is if you send it to me. If you don't send it to me, then there's nothing I can do for you. Now, I want you to also do another thing. Try planning 3 posts on paper of your own brand. I want you to plan, like from this information now you've given me, you plan your own content for your own brand. If it's for your personal brand, you plan 1 week content calendar for your personal brand. And if it's for your business brand, another 1 week calendar for your business brand. So these are just the two assignments I'll be giving you guys today. So, yes, any more questions, please still drop it for me before we close for today. And yes, I want to ask, how has this class been so far? I want to be sure, hope you are learning. Hope we are learning. Okay, what the calendar is about, I said, when you first of all, there are two things I said here now. Connect, yes, there are two things I mentioned here. For if it's for your personal brand, I want you to go to two people you are following that you are sure, okay, these people, I like the way they post, and let's say that you see them as influencers, and they are the people you want to be like on social media, like you want to stand out like them, not basically follow their content style, but maybe you want to follow their, like you like how people engage on their posts, how people comment on their posts. So I want you to go to their pages, two people, two top people and check out, okay, look at how this person posts, look at their content style. Like did they post more content? What is something they always post that gives them what? That gives them the followers. You understand? That gives them the followers. And when you do that, you give me the content styles, like the content types, type of content they post about. That's after analyzing their social media page. Now, if it's a business brand, or if you're analyzing for a business brand, you should do the same. Two brand. Let me say you have a perfume store. You already know two people, like you can browse about the two top brands. As I mentioned before, you can browse all these things. You can browse maybe five. You can browse five and narrow it down to the two best, You understand? So that's what I want you to do. You browse the two top brands of the business you're running, When you do that, then you bring out, okay, look at the type of content these brands already or always post about. And after you do that, you can send them to me. Then now you have to send me a 1 week content calendar for your personal brand and a 1 week content calendar for your business brand. Like, from these things now you've analyzed, from these things now we have analyzed, you can now say, okay, these people posted in 1 week, they posted 2 or 3 contents, and I want to be posting like them. But then look at what I want to post about. So you send me your own personal calendar. You understand? Um, Fabric Paul, please let me know if you understand what I'm saying. And then from what you've analyzed from these two brands, how they post content, maybe in 1 week or in 2 weeks, you can also say, okay, this brand posts 1 week or 2 weeks. Look at the type of content they post, and look at what I want to be posting from what I've seen they've posted. You understand? It's not basically to copy exactly verbatim of what they are saying. I want you to, maybe it's more like stealing like an artist. Gather creativity from them, because some people are already doing it. You don't want to go and try something that is already failing. So you have to go learn the lessons from them and come out with the best results and use it for yourself. So yes, that's what I mean. So if you understand what I said, Paul, Mr. Paul, please let me know. All right, thank you, Mr. Paul. Any other person have a question here before we close for today? So we are done for tonight. So good night, everyone. Good night. Let me know the people that are here. Good night, Munashi. Good night, Paul. Good night, Benedicta. Good night, Benjamin. Good night, Andrew. Good night, Iberi Shuku. And see you guys tomorrow again.